One day, when I was little, my mom decided to pack me a special lunch. She woke up early in the morning to make kimbap, rice, vegetables, and beef, rolled in a sheet of seaweed and sliced into bite-sized circles. She made it with all the love and hope she felt for me as she sent me off to school that morning. But when I opened the container of kimbap at lunchtime, something awful happened. A boy at my table said, "What's that smell?" And he got up, grabbed his lunch, and moved to another table. The others did the same. Soon I was sitting alone. Not a single teacher or friend noticed or stepped in to say a word, and along with the shame and loneliness, I felt invisible. In fact, I remember feeling that way often as a child. I was invisible in the history textbooks I read in class, where I didn't see a single face that looked like mine, except in mention of an internment camp. I was invisible every day on the bus ride home when a group of kids would tease me. "Where are you from, Ching Chong?" pulling at the corners of their eyes, seeing only my Asianness, my foreignness, not caring to see anything else. And I was invisible because my name was too difficult for anyone to pronounce, so they often just didn't address me at all. Back then, I went by my real name, Kyunga, a name chosen for me by my grandmother, which means bright and beautiful. But I learned that Kyunga in Midwest America just meant invisible. That was then. Much has passed and changed, even my name. And yet, even now, decades later, it only takes one look or question to make the scars I carry somewhere deep inside sting. 2 months ago, on February 5th, I woke up and washed a bowl of rice, just as my mom had done many years ago. It was the Lunar New Year celebration at Livingstone's, and somehow, of all the things I could have done, I was going to help the whole school make kimbap. We were even going to make them on a lunch table. Class after class came through, and I braced myself continually, expecting the worst. Not everyone liked it, but they were kind, almost astonishingly so, even the very youngest ones. Some ate the kimbap with zest, telling me how they ate it at home once a week and how much they loved seaweed. And I'll never forget how the last class that came through sat around the table eating up roll after roll, laughing, enjoying a real kimbap party around the lunch table. That day, I came full circle from the lunchroom episode of my childhood and walked out the doors feeling something new. That part of me that had been so afraid, wrapped up in shame for so long, it had changed. I felt as though the script from my childhood had been lovingly rewritten. The setting changed, the characters replaced. Without even knowing it, the students of LSA had given me a gift, the gift of belonging. Instead of ostracizing the hurting, invisible child inside me, they saw me and embraced me. When you receive a gift like that, it changes you, makes you stronger, makes you better able to face the hurts and injustices in this world. When I look at my daughter and my son, I know this is why we chose this school. It's a school where I can pack my daughter kimbap for lunch, and she's excited about it. It's a school where teachers learn how to pronounce names and take the time to teach their students to be kind. It's a school where students are taught to see the hurting and the lonely, and where their hearts are molded to offer real compassion and friendship. It's a school where representation matters a lot, where we celebrate seaweed and schnitzel and soul food together as a whole school because we belong, each one of us to the other. Most of all, it's a school where God, El Roy, the one who sees us, is not only talked about, but present and treasured, where he can take a lonely lunch table and turn it into a joyful feast. Thank you.
Livingstone.